Hi guys, Kim here. Welcome to Backyard Blooms. In today's video, we are going to talk about 2025 garden dreams. Yes, January is for dreaming in your garden because most people right now, especially throughout the United States, unless you live in Florida or California, you are not able to plant an annual right now into your garden. An annual is a flower that only lasts 1 year. A perennial will last many years, but you don't get very many flowers out of your perennial. They just kind of have like their little bit of time in the garden. So they might bloom maybe 4 to 5 weeks or so, or sometimes longer, sometimes less. But an annual is your biggest bang for your buck, where you're going to get absolute gorgeous color into your garden. And that's what I'm dreaming about right now, because I love absolute color. And I wanted to let you guys know that I got great response on how I want to be different with my channel. So like I said, I didn't make the top 20 with Steph with Hooked and Rooted, so I'm like, how can I be different? She described each channel and they all had something different with their channel, and I'm like, how can I be a gardening channel and be a little bit different? So I'm going to talk about God more in my channel than I have before going forward. So anyways, I got great responses and that made me feel really, really good. And one of my subscribers said that I was the faithful gardener, and I just absolutely loved that. So I'll throw her name up there. And thank you so much for that. That gave me so much courage to come back on here and talk about and include God into my channel. So anyways, my favorite psalm is Psalm 91, and it's about protection. So I want to go over and I want to read Psalm 91 for you. And like I said, this is my favorite Bible, and this one is called the Life Application Study Bible. And the reason why I like it so much is that, for one, this has got really big letters, and I feel like I can understand it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read to you Psalm 91, and at the very bottom it has a little bit of a study guide for you to be able to tell us like how we can relate this Bible to today. So that's the reason why I like it a lot and I learn so much. But because I want God to protect our garden, I want to give you this reading from Psalm 91. So here we go. The theme of Psalm 91 is God's protection in the midst of danger. God doesn't promise a world free from danger, but He does promise His help whenever we face danger. So those who live in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. This I declare about the Lord. He alone is my refuge, my place of safety. He is my God, and I trust Him. For He will rescue you from every trap and protect you from deadly disease. He will cover you with feathers. He will shelter you with His wings. That is awesome. Just so awesome. His faithful promises are your armor and protection. Do not be afraid of terrors of the night, nor the arrow that flies in the day. Do not dread the disease that stalks in darkness, nor the disaster that strikes at midday. Though 1,000 fall at your side, though 10,000 are dying around you, these evils will not touch you. Just open your eyes and see how the wicked are punished. If you make the Lord your refuge, if you make the Most High your shelter, no evil will conquer you, no plague will come near your home, for He will order His angels to protect you wherever you go. They will hold you up with their hands, so don't even hurt your foot on a stone. You will trample upon lions and cobras. You will crush fierce lions and serpents under your feet. The Lord says, I will rescue those who love me. I will protect those who trust in my name. When they call on me, I will answer. I will be with them in trouble. I will rescue and honor them. I will reward them with a long life and give them my salvation. So that was the word. Now let me tell you what it says in the study guide. God is a shelter, a refuge when we are afraid. The writer's faith in God as a protector would carry him through all the dangers and fears of life. This should be a picture of how our trust, trading all our fears for faith in Him, no matter how intense our fears. To do this, we must live and rest with Him by entrusting ourselves to the protection and pledging our daily devotion to Him. We will be kept safe. So I wanted to say just a little bit prayer over our gardens today, and this is what I wrote. Lord Jesus, be a protector over our homes, gardens, and our lives. We love you and trust you to protect us. When we have storms, place your angels over us so we can have no fear and less stress. In your name, amen. So I know personally I rely on God all the time. I actually talk to my plants and say prayers about my plants all the time. And when we have storms, I ask God to please protect my home and my gardens, because this was His creation. His plants, His blooms are all His creation. So with that, we're going to go into these gorgeous blooms that I am planning on planting in my garden in 2025. So let's dream together. So as you can see right behind me, this is my hydrangea garden. So I have limelight hydrangeas in here, and in the backdrop I have the emerald green arborvitaes, and then right directly behind me I have the little gem magnolia. And then let's not forget Miss Grace. She looks over my garden as well, as long as God and His angels. So anyways, I really like 3 layers. And prior to that, I did plant some plants underneath there, but my hydrangeas got so big. And we actually had that big storm that came through, the hurricane. And actually it made all of my hydrangeas come this way, which I'm kind of glad that it came away from my emerald green arborvitaes. But however, since they made them go more this way because they were upright, I have lots of areas here in my sod that where the grass had died. So I'm going to extend this area out, and that will give me lots of room to plant my lower ground to give me that 3 levels. So anyways, what I'm dreaming in this, after I extend this garden out a little bit with this rubber edging that I have here behind me, I'm thinking about just a whole big drift of super petunias like bubblegum or jazzberry, or I may even do a combination of bubblegum, jazzberry, and then the white as well. So I'm really excited about that because I like big, big pops of color, and planting in masses will give you that absolute gorgeous, gorgeous color. Okay, so now I'm currently in my cottage garden where I like to have lots of color and lots of different texture, and I like to have a mix of perennials in this garden along with shrubs, and then lots of like winter perennials too. So I have a lot of hellebores in this area that are about ready to bloom, so I'm excited to share with you with that in my next video. But do you see these concrete containers behind me? I like to usually put Vermillionaire in these containers, but this year I'm going to like switch it up a little bit. I'm still going to buy Vermillionaire because I love those Vermillionaires for my hummingbirds, but they do really good in the ground as well. So I think I'll grab probably maybe 4 or 5 of those Vermillionaires and plant them directly into the ground so my hummingbirds can love on them. But however, hummingbirds still like bright colors, so I'm still going to plant some things in this container such as salvia, so because I know that the hummingbirds love that as well. So let me tell you what I've been thinking about. Now, I had the opportunity to go to the Proven Winners Signature Garden in Michigan last year, and I have several videos about that, and a lot of them are the new 2025 annuals that are coming out this year if you can get your hands on them. But however, that video didn't do quite well, but I think it was because most people had already planted all their annuals and they were already kind of done. But for right now, like that footage is going to be great for me because I can still and have the opportunity to share how well those 2025 annuals, the new ones, are going to do good in your garden. But I'm really super excited about the new Tiara Super Petunias. So Proven Winners just put out this on Instagram, put out a combination that I absolutely loved. It was elegant, it was bright, the textures were just perfect. And like, let me just tell you what the description said about it. Turn your garden dreams into reality. This recipe is thoughtfully crafted for perfect blend of color, texture, and growth habits. Proven Winner Direct actually shows you how to lay out the plants, which I absolutely loved that they did that, and it's actually helpful for new and old gardeners as well. So the 3 plants that they put together were the Supertunia Tiara Blue, the Diamond Snow Euphorbia, and the Unplugged White Millie Cup Salvia.
Okay, so here's some of the names.
I am planning on
Royal
using their recipe, but I do want to throw just a little bit of yellow into this recipe as well because I love yellow into my garden also. And I'm thinking about, I did really like that new petunia that came out last year, the Saffron Finch, but I felt like it just really fizzled out like in the midst of the heat and then kind of came back. So this year, I feel like the prior year, I did the Mini Vista yellow. So I think I'm going to like put 1 Mini Vista yellow into this combination. So what they did, they used 2 of the Tiara Blues, 2 of the Diamond Snow, and 1 of the Unplugged White Millie Cup Salvia. So that's what I'm planning on doing in these gardens because I really, really do like that Supertunia Tiara. And the blue, which kind of looks like purple, but they call it blue. But I really wanted, like I thought about putting that color in the very front, but my house is really, really dark gray, and that dark of a blue might take away from the backdrop of my color of my house. So you need to think about that too when you're planting flowers close to your house, like what's going to accent your backdrop, which my house is my backdrop and it's a really dark color. So I'm really excited to share what I'm going to do about the front yard when I get there. But I did buy some coneflowers from Dutch Grown, and I'm really excited about that. And the 3 coneflowers that I bought were the Marmalade, and it's a deep orange. And I bought an Irresistible Double Bright Orange / Pink blooms. And then I got another one called Lemon Drop, and of course that is real lemony yellow. So I'm really excited about doing some of those as well into my cottage garden because I like the height of them. They're really tall, so they kind of stand out above a lot of my other perennials that I have in this garden. And another thing that I'm really excited about too, I don't know if you can see, do you see this obelisk right here? So in the past, I had been doing the orange appeal, and it was gorgeous last year. So I think I'm gonna like at least do the orange appeal. I might do the coconut appeal, which is a white. And then I actually really missed my mandevilla. So I may like try to coordinate those colors. I might put a mandevilla on there plus some kind of like orange appeal. And that is actually called a Black-Eyed Susan vine. I don't know why it's called, you would think they call it something different. I've always been used to Black-Eyed Susan looking more like a yellow daisy kind of flower with the black in the middle. But anyways, that's what they're called. They're called a Black-Eyed Susan vine, and they come in different colors too. They actually come in a yellow as well, but I really, really liked that orange last year. It's kind of like an orange tangerine. It was very, very pretty. So that's what I have in mind about this cottage garden. And then of course, you know, like I'll be out at a nursery and I'll like look around for different flowers and different ideas. Let me know in comments like what your favorite flower that you're going to put in your cottage garden this year. Okay, now I'm on my skinny side garden. And guys, I missed having my annuals in here like I did the prior couple years ago, and I'll try to find some of those pictures. But one year I had like a blue and red going on, and I should have got I got 2 begonias, and I made a mistake. I should have gotten 1 red begonia, 1 white begonia, and then had the blue was the Blew My Mind Euvobulus, and it was gorgeous. So if you're looking for some kind of blue color and you want it low to the ground, like right next to the sidewalk, that Blew My Mind was absolutely gorgeous. So I really, really miss what I did prior, and I was trying to save money this past year, and I planted nothing but cut flowers through here. So I like started a seed starting thing inside. And then, so I started on my seeds. I got a lot of the seeds from Florette Flowers, which, by the way, if you love seeds, she's got some great seeds. But anyways, they got really, really tall. And then when the winds came, they blew everything over into the sidewalk to me it looked messy. I have such a small yard. I don't have a lot of land, so I cannot afford messy. So I kind of nipped all that flower garden thing. It just didn't really work out for me, but I learned. So I tried it and I learned. So that's what you have to do for yourself. You have to try things that you want to try, and it may work out glorious for you, but it might not. So for me, it made me realize that that's not what I wanted to do for my garden, and that I like more structure and more beautiful blooms that are compact together. So anyways, like I said, I'll share some pictures of what I did prior for in my garden. But when I did go to the Proven Winners Signature Garden, I got such beautiful ideas. So there's 2 ideas that I'm kind of like tinkering through, and then I'm going to share you with the flowers. So one of them is a Begonia Surefire White, just a whole big drift all the way down my house is what I'm thinking of it. And then the Heart to Heart Lemon Blush Caladiums. Caladiums do really, really good here, and they last throughout the season. So sometimes petunias have already petered out and I have to pull them up, but these caladiums just go on until a frost, which I love. And then I also love, and I had it in my back of the house before, the Proven Accent Pegas Begonia. So that was kind of like a combination, and I'll share with you that I took clips at the Proven Winners Signature Garden. But I like this even more, and some of these are not brand new plants, but I'm really, really excited. Not last year, but the year before, I did the pink Gomphrena in the very front. Well, the pink Gomphrena got pretty tall and kind of took everything else over. But I think if I did the pink Gomphrena all on this side with the white Bidens and lemon coral sedum and then purple fountain grass, so I can like at each, I've got like a little indentation over here where to go to my water faucet, and I thought like that the purple fountain grass on each side would be absolutely gorgeous, and maybe at the very start of the end garden and over here. So maybe 4 total of the purple fountain grass, and then mix it with the pink Gomphrena, the white Bidens, and lemon coral sedum. And when I went and saw this, the bees and the butterflies were like all over these plants, especially the pink Gomphrena. And when I planted them in my very front yard too, they were like all over it. It was just absolutely gorgeous. So that's what I'm kind of thinking about in this garden on my skinny side garden. So let me know what your thoughts. I'm teetering between one of the 2, and I actually might go with the pink Gomphrena, the white Bidens, and lemon coral sedum. I thought that was gorgeous together. All right, guys, now I'm in the very front of my house, and I like to make my front garden, my flower garden in the front of the house, the landscape, like the most beautiful ever, because this is where all the cars come by, people walk by, they walk in this neighborhood all the time, and I want to give them the big wow factor, and I want to make everybody that walks by here smile. So that's my goal, and of course it is a great curb appeal for your front garden as well. So make your front garden the most spectacular that you can, whether it's in containers or putting in directly into the ground, which I have both. So I kind of like pick out maybe 4 or 5 flowers that coordinate really well with each other for my front garden. And I'm going to share like what I did in the past, and not last year, but the year before. Like, I didn't really love what I thought I did, but going back and looking at pictures, I'm like, oh my gosh, it was so beautiful. So I'll share that with you as well. That's when I did the Gomphrena. I did, I think, the yellow. I had the mini Vista yellow, and then I had the persimmon, and I actually had like another purple flower in there too that kind of got lost, so I wouldn't do that again. But it was just gorgeous. And when I look at my pictures, I have like a screen inside, like where I can send from my pictures from my phone to like a little camera slide. And when it pops up, I'm like, oh my gosh, it was just absolutely gorgeous. And I just didn't realize how beautiful it was at the time. But this is what I'm thinking about this year. Now, let me tell you, last year, one of the most popular flowers was the pink cashmere, and it was gorgeous. But you guys, it is a beast. So last year I had like all up front. I had the pink cashmere with the mini white vista, and it outperformed. It like covered it up. I love it at the very beginning when I planted it and it started like starting to fill in a little bit, but then the pink cashmere like absolutely took over. So I would advise for you to put your pink cashmere, which I do love the plant, and they came back. They have not gone away. They're still living. They still look green. I'll show you like a little picture of my pink cashmere right now. So this is a plant that you can probably buy and it will come back for you in most zones. I'm not going to promise you every zone, but my zone, Charlotte, North Carolina, zone 8, it did not miss a beat. It got a little bit frosted on top, but that's it. It's still living. So anyways, but give that plant some room. Now, if I planted it with a Supertunia Vista, I think it would have been fine, but not the mini Vistas. So just a little tip to throw out for you for this year. If you do buy that plant and you can get your hands on that plant, give it some room and put it with a more vigorous plant like the mini Vistas, like the bubblegum, the jazzberry, the white one that we have. So anyways, that's just my suggestion. You can do what you want, but that's what I regret about last year. Okay, so what I'm dreaming about this year, of course, I already told you, like I really love the new, and I always love the new petunias. So anyways, what I'm thinking about is the Tiara Pink Supertunia up here, planting it in mass, and planting it with the Mini Me Chartreuse Coleus or the Lemon Coral Sedum. But I want to do the Lemon Coral Sedum on my skinny side. So just to have something different, I think I might try the Mini Chartreuse Coleus up here. And then behind that, so I'm going to have the Mini Chartreuse Coleus. Then my next layer will be the Tiara Pink Supertunia. And then my next layer behind that will be the White Angel Face Angelonia. So this one's a new improved. And I did some Angelonias last year. I did the pink one, and I just loved it. It was a great, great plant. And I might still try to find the Angelwood Pink and put it somewhere into my garden as well. And then I always loved caladiums as well because, like I said, petunias do great here, but we have such a long season of growing season that sometimes if you don't cut those petunias back, like mid-June, July, they will not last me all the way through to frost. But sometimes when I cut them back, it will, so just keep that in mind too. That's another tip for you. But however, if these Supertunias peter out, and once it gets so hot and they just kind of dry up, because they do have like a life cycle too, which still gives me like a ton of growing time, because I can plant stuff out in April and go all the way till November, which most places can't do that, and some can like even have a longer growing season than I do. But anyways, I like to throw some caladiums in here too, because when the petunias like peter out, I have those caladiums that are bright and tall and they still look gorgeous too. So now I'm in the west side garden, and let me tell you, by accident, I found out that the blue from the Pugster Blue butterfly bushes go great with orange. And this was by accident. So now, and I'll share a picture, I had a daylily with this bright, gorgeous orange, like striking orange, right next to the Pugster Blue butterfly bush, and it was absolutely gorgeous. So by accident, like I gave my own self inspiration. So this year, I'm going to pull up all the pinks and I'm going to try to do more blue, oranges, yellows, and reds in this garden. So I planted a lot of the pink cashmere in this garden last year with the jazzberry, and it was pretty, but I really do like that orange and blue together. So I'm going to try to get my hands on this shrub. It's the Perfecto Mundo Orange Azalea. I would really like to do that into a drift. A drift is when you buy 3 to 5. I like to do odds, so 3 or 5, and I might do them really, really close to these butterfly bushes. And then some of the other blue and orange flowers that I would really like to do, I really want to try the Star Diva Blue Scaevola. And that's more like a ground cover, and I've not tried that before, but that's one that I want to try. And I think this one would be absolutely gorgeous in a hanging basket too. So I might try it in a hanging basket as well. And then another one that I have not tried and I heard that smells glorious is the Aromagic purple heliotrope. Have not tried that yet, but it is like a gorgeous bloom, and actually it reminds me, the blooms remind me a lot of the blooms that are on my Pugster butterfly bush. So I think that would be pretty in this area over here as well. And then the orange bidens I think would be gorgeous as a ground cover. I think that would be so pretty. And then another one that I can try would be the mango or tangerine portulaca. Would be the mango or tangerine portulaca. Now I had these one year and they did great right behind my house, like right up against the windows, because that area was really, really hot, and they were such striking, beautiful flowers. The only beef that I have about it is that you can't enjoy them when you get home because they kind of close up like more in the afternoon, and when the sun pops up, they open up. But anyways, they're still like gorgeous, and they love the heat, and they're a great, great ground cover as well. And they do great in hanging baskets also. So I hope this video gave you some inspiration and some ideas for next year, because oh my gosh, me going to that Proven Winner Signature Garden like gave me so many ideas for this upcoming year. So I hope that my eyes were good for you as well, because I want you to be able to dream about what you're going to plant in your garden. And I hope that you can get your hands on some of these plants too. I'm just super lucky that I have at least 2 to 3 nurseries that carry Proven Winners. So if you find one that you really, really like, call your nursery and ask them if they can find these plants for you and if they can carry the plants for you. Now, you can get a lot of these plants online as well. You can get them through Proven Winners Direct. And I know Jenny with Creekside Nursery, they just started up last year where they're starting to send out annuals too. So that's another idea. She just had a great video out not too long ago, maybe a day or two ago, about the new 2025 annuals. And of course that kind of got my mind rolling and thinking, I'm like, I need to do a video about what I was actually planning and actually like just put it down to paper and figure out what I want to do. But I went back and looked at all my videos from the Proven Winner Signature Garden and actually came up with some of those ideas on my West Side Garden. So enjoy all my clips from the Proven Winner Signature Garden. Enjoy all these blooms, and the more blooms that you put out, the more bees and butterflies you're going to have in your garden, and you're going to actually make God smile. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe my video. Bye, friends.